Hey everyone, my name is Riley, and in this video we will be comparing Squarespace versus WordPress. Squarespace and WordPress are two of the most popular online website builders. However, there are major differences between these. In this video, we will be taking a look at the pricing of both of these platforms, the plugins and extensions that you can get, the ease of use, the selection of templates, and then I will give my overall thoughts and opinions on which of these website builders is the best. So starting off with one of the most important aspects of a website builder, and this is the pricing. This is the pricing on Squarespace. If you are a beginner to building websites or you don't really need an in-detail view of analytics, then this personal plan is probably going to be best for you. With this, you get access to all of the Squarespace templates that we will talk about later. You get a free domain for your website. You can send out invoices, and all of the websites that you build will be fully mobile optimized. You also get all of the basic tools and everything that you need to build your website. If you are looking to build an e-commerce website, however, then this commerce plan is going to be the best. The reason for this is because although this business plan does allow you to set up and build an e-commerce store, Squarespace is going to take a 3% transaction fee on everything that you sell. So for an extra $5 per month, it's definitely worth going with the commerce plan if you do want to build an e-commerce website. The way that the WordPress pricing works is slightly different. You see, WordPress is actually an open source program, meaning that WordPress itself is free to use. However, if you do want to put your websites live and on the internet, the only thing that we need to buy is web hosting. Web hosting is essentially where your website lives on the internet, and you need web hosting in order to put your website live and onto the internet. Now, it turns out that web hosting is a lot cheaper than any of the Squarespace plans. Especially if you use the hosting link in the description of this video, you can get up to 75% off all of your hosting plans. If we click on claim deal, this means that you will only be paying $3.99 per month for your hosting, as this is the one that I recommend. You absolutely can go with one of these other two options. However, with the premium, when we start to add in plugins, which is another thing that we will touch on later, this standard performance sometimes struggles to handle that. However, with the business, I have downloaded the most crazy, ludicrous plugins when building websites for myself and my clients, and the business plan can handle this with absolutely no issues. Now, if we add this to the cart, this $3.99 price is only going to be $3.99 if we purchase for 4 years. However, any of these options right here are still going to be cheaper than the monthly price that we would pay for Squarespace. Realistically, you at least want to be going for a 12-month plan. The reason for this is you get a free domain included on anything above the 12-year plan, and it also works out a lot cheaper monthly. So in terms of the pricing comparison, it is absolutely no question WordPress is going to take the win here. The second thing that we are going to compare these tools on is the plugins and extensions and overall customizability that you can get with these website builders. This is Squarespace extensions, and honestly, I would say this is super limited. All Squarespace extensions allows you to do is integrate your Squarespace account with other service providers to connect up and provide your service in an easier way. For example, let's take FreshBooks. FreshBooks is an accounting software, and essentially this is just going to allow you to connect up your Squarespace account with this accounting software and make it easier to do your taxes. Custom merch by Printful. Printful is a print-on-demand supplier, and using this extension on your Squarespace store is just going to make it easier to sell the clothing that you create on Printful. Now, this is essentially all Squarespace extensions is. We can just connect up and integrate different services, which makes life a little bit easier. WordPress, on the other hand, comes with a completely different ballgame. Inside of your WordPress account, we can go down here to the plugin library. We just click add new plugin, and this is going to take us over to the WordPress plugin library. This video can simply not put into words the amount of customizability and different things that the WordPress plugin library allows you to do. If I had to give you a comparison, it's like Squarespace is a phone that just does the basic features, like you can text people, you can call people. However, WordPress is like an iPhone that has an app store on it. If you want to turn your phone into a taxi booking app, you simply download an app and it allows you to do that. If you want to turn your phone into a device that orders pizza, you can do that simply by installing an app. And this is exactly what the WordPress plugin library is. If I want to turn my website into an e-commerce store, I simply search for the WooCommerce plugin, install the plugin, and then I can use the WooCommerce plugin to turn my website into an e-commerce store. If I want to turn my website into a food ordering website, I can install this plugin right here called Gloria Food. And through this plugin, I can literally give my website the entire functionality of people being able to order food, track delivery drivers, track orders, and all of this with absolutely no code required. So those are just two examples, two very random examples to show you just how customizable WordPress can be. Now, what you just saw, the WordPress plugin library, is the biggest differentiating factor between WordPress and Squarespace. Squarespace can just not compete with the customization options that we have with WordPress. So of course, WordPress takes another win here. The third section we need to talk about in this video is the ease of use. And this is actually where Squarespace takes a point. I've tested pretty much every website builder that is out there. And honestly, I would say Squarespace is probably the simplest and easiest to use. All we have to do is go through and choose from one of these templates. Let's select this one. We can then choose the color theme that we want to use on this site. And then click Start with this design. From here, we can then click into the editor. And then use the drag and drop editor to make any changes that we need to on the website. To change this title, all I need to do is click in. And then type whatever I want into this box. To change images, I simply click on the image, go up to edit section, and then I can change this image to whatever I want it to be. Let's go replace, and then let's choose an option from the Squarespace library. Just like that, that image has now been changed. We can also add in entirely new sections by simply hovering over this add section button, clicking into it, and then we can choose from any of these pre-built sections right here. Let's add a quote. Once again, we can click in and change this using this simple drag and drop editor. Elements on Squarespace are called blocks. So to add an element into this website, we just click on add block, and then we can add any of these elements shown right here. If I want to add a button to my website, I simply click and I can drag and drop this wherever I want to on the site. Then we can go in and make some changes. And then once we are finished, we can simply save. And that is how easy it is to customize our Squarespace website. Now, WordPress can be just as easy as what we just saw on Squarespace, but the learning curve is understanding which plugins and basically what to install on your WordPress website. For example, if I try to use the default WordPress editor, this is the website that we are given by default. It looks okay, but nothing groundbreaking. And if we click on edit site, we can go in and start making some simple changes. So we can change the title just as we could on Squarespace. We can add links and different things to buttons, and we can change the images right here. However, we can't drag things around. And if I want to add in an image, for example, I can't really choose where this goes on the website. So the default WordPress editor is okay, but it's definitely nowhere near as good as Squarespace. Let's now go back to the WordPress dashboard. From here, we can go into the plugins area and install a plugin called Starter Templates. There are so many different plugins like this that give you access to a bunch of templates and a much better website builder, but my personal favorite and the one that I use is Starter Templates. Let's install this plugin. This is Starter Templates. As you can see, we now have a bunch of different beautiful templates that we can choose from, but most importantly, what we need to do is go up here and switch this to Elementor. We can then choose from one of these templates. Let's go with Earth. And just like we could on Squarespace, we can now start choosing the color palette that we want to use for this template. We can also change the font. And once we have this template on our website, it's super easy to customize. We can go up to edit with Elementor, and this is a much better editor. Let's change this text at the top. We can do it just like that. As you can see, this is also a drag and drop editor, so we can drag the elements where we want to on the website. We can add in any elements that we want. Let's add a video right here. And then we can customize this video on the left-hand control panel. We can scroll down and customize images on this left-hand side, and also add in any new sections that we need to add in. So as you can see, WordPress can be as easy to use as Squarespace if you have the correct plugins. But it's figuring out which plugins you need to install. It's very easy to do this, and you can do this by a quick YouTube or Google search to find tutorials. However, straight out of the box, ease of use, this point definitely has to go to Squarespace. The final thing that we are going to speak about in this video is the templates that you can get with both of these platforms. Starting out with Squarespace, and there is no doubt that all of these templates are absolutely beautiful, but the downside to this is there are only 29 of them. Now, of course, all of these templates are fully customizable, and you can take this template, for example, and turn it into something completely different. You could literally customize this template into this template because of the changes that you can make. However, the entire point of a template is to basically build the foundation of your website so that you only have to make a few changes, and it makes the website creation process very, very easy. However, with only 29 templates to choose from, I would say Squarespace is very much lacking in this department, as if you can't really find a template that looks like the website that you want to build, then you have to do a lot of customization, and this is not ideal as a beginner. Whereas just with starter templates on WordPress, there is a lot more than 29 different designs that you can choose from. Now, I will say that some of these are premium. I would not recommend paying for these. However, with just the free templates that we are getting with starter templates, there is a lot more than 29 that are going to show up here. And this is just one plugin. This is not mentioning all of the other template plugins that you can get with WordPress, or the thousands of different themes that you can get in the WordPress theme library. Not only this, but each of these specific themes that you can see here, so each of these 6,000 themes is going to have a bunch of different templates that you can choose from. Let's choose this one, for example. Royal Elementor Kit. This is just one theme out of the 6,000 themes that we can choose from. And inside of that specific theme, we have all of these different templates to choose from. So because of this, because all of these 6,000 themes have potentially hundreds of templates inside of them, there is hundreds of thousands, if not millions of different templates that you can choose from on WordPress. Because of this, you will definitely find a template that you resonate with and fits what you want to create on your website. So this is undoubtedly another point and another win for WordPress. So overall, my final thoughts on which one should you use, Squarespace versus WordPress. For most people, this is probably going to be WordPress. If you are building a super basic website, you don't mind paying a little bit more money, and you genuinely like the look of one of these Squarespace templates, then Squarespace might be the better option because it is just so simple and easy to use. The user interface is absolutely awesome, and if you want to create a website without putting a bunch of time into it, then Squarespace is the best option for you. However, for most people, if you are building an e-commerce website or a blog, or you are building a website for your business, then WordPress is undoubtedly the best option. Not only is the hosting cheaper than Squarespace, but it is also infinitely more customizable with the different plugins and extensions that you can add. So overall, WordPress is the clear winner. WordPress is what I personally use for all of my personal websites and all of my client websites that I build. And overall, it is the best website builder for most people. Now, if you found this video valuable, don't forget to smash that like button and tap that subscribe button. And until next time, take it easy.